Welcome to Access Television. I'm Gennarji O'Sullivan, and I have a special guest here from APTN Investigates, Rob Smith. You can find such episodes that he's done, like Defiance and Resistance, which is about Lulu Island, and also We Are Not Extinct, which explored the Wanik tribe and their current situation. Recently, though, Rob Smith has been working on a really important issue, and that is fentanyl and how it is affecting our community. Welcome to the show, Rob. It's so nice to see you here on the set with us.
Hi, Gennarji. How are you doing?
Hi. So you're of the Kwakwaka'wakw Nation, and
that's right.
You're also Yukon, and here you find yourself smack in the middle of it all in Vancouver, downtown East Side.
That's right.
You know, urban city.
Yeah, I've been at APTN for 10 years. I started at the National News daily news program, and yeah, it's.
What's that like? Do you get to chase the news down?
That was very exciting stuff. It was a daily deadline, and it was a new story every day. A few years ago, about 4 years ago, I moved to APTN Investigates, which we get 3 or 4 months now to work stories out, to dig deeper into stories, and spend much more time digging deep, like I said, into any issue. And
so this is good because you're not just scratching the issues on a daily basis. You're going, taking the time that it needs to basically explore a story, and
that's the hope. Yeah, that's what we want to do there at Investigates.
And it does make a difference. I mean, before APTN Investigates, we knew nothing of Lulu Island, or that people were being deemed extinct here in British Columbia, and did not know how the Unistoten had basically single-handedly almost stopped the Enbridge pipeline from moving forward.
Well, I think one of the things that I hope to do with my stories is to put a human face. The Unistoten is a perfect example. You saw headlines, some news stories, newspaper stories, but you didn't really get a sense of who Togasta and Frida were as just human beings and what they were doing. So to go up there and spend some time actually in the camp to see what they're doing and how they're building a community. They're not just protesters. They're just real. They're real human beings who believe a certain way, and that's given the longer format gives us an opportunity to really get to know the subjects. Yeah.
And now we know that they have sacrificed their contemporary lifestyles to occupy the Unistoten territory as a means of stopping big development in that territory.
And that's a movement that's happening. You see the same theme, find the same things going on in other areas like Lulu Island.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, that people are moving back to the land and reclaiming, decolonizing, and suffering the consequences of that.
Yeah, and by covering them, we get to see an example of what it means to occupy the land. It's simply just living on the land, going home to where you belong, where your heart is, and where your ancestors lie. That's really all it takes.
Well, imagine that, just going home and living the life that our ancestors lived. And when I went to Unistoten, they took me out on their trap line, and it was just, that was their lives, and it was quite a beautiful day, quite a beautiful moment to capture them just living that old life.
Beautiful. And if you would like to find out more on Rob Smith and APTN Investigates, like I said, go to www.aptn Rob Smith. Recently, you've been working on fentanyl story. Tell us more about what you have found.
Well, this one's a tough one, and it's heartbreaking. It's been described to me as being a war zone out there, and that's what you see when you get down there. People are suffering. People are going through trauma. People have been left behind. There's been so many deaths, and the question of what to do next is a pretty tough one, and there aren't really many answers out there. So my question to the officials out there, are we seeing a new normal? Should we just be expecting what we're seeing in terms of the death rates to just be that? Because the drug is so easily brought into the country. It is so cheap. It is basically dollar store, a dollar store heroin.
Oh.
And it just seems like that is hard to police, and it is so deadly. One of the philosophies of harm reduction is to keep people alive long enough for them to find the healing that they need to get off the street. Well, with the dangers of this particular drug being so toxic, they don't have that time.
Yeah, because it's twice as potent, and you become addicted to it twice as fast. They have carfentanil, and then they have fentanyl itself. Mm-hmm. And we also have a lot of First Nations people who are on the street buying into fentanyl, choosing it over heroin, mm-hmm. which is like suicide in itself. And in some form, from my perspective anyway, like downright murder.
Well, certainly there's people who are saying the people who know that they're selling fentanyl are culpable in manslaughter or murder. It's interesting talking with the VPD spokesman there yesterday. He says the Vancouver Police Department considers this a health issue, that it's not a law enforcement issue. It is not. It doesn't help to bust the street level drug dealers, because they'll just be replaced quite easily. So the way to go is to treatment on demand, and another solution that might not be palatable to certain to the politics is legalized pharmaceutical heroin. Wow. And I visited Crosstown Clinic.
Yeah. Crosstown Clinic.
Yes, yeah. where they offer heroin pharmaceutically. So they come in and get clean heroin. They haven't lost anybody in this program.
Okay, we'll be looking for APTN's Investigate Rob Smith coverage of fentanyl. Thank you, Rob. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks.